No one cares about you. Other than your friends and family, no one genuinely cares about you. So why are you letting it stop you from doing the things that you actually want to do? The thing that actually made me think about this is when I was at school, a friend of mine and I wanted to approach some girls at school, but we were too scared to do so because we thought people have this image that we somewhat attract a lot of girls and that it's easy for us to get girls, which is true, but if we got rejected, no one would actually care. To be honest, no one would actually care. Okay, in fact, I was going to say maybe they would talk about it for a few seconds, a few minutes, but uh, I'm lying to myself. They wouldn't even talk about it, they wouldn't even cross their minds. Some people will see it and be like, okay. Okay, it depends on how bad the rejection is. It generally depends on how bad the rejection is. But for the most part, a rejection is never gonna be that bad to the point where it gets people to think about it. You get me? My friend and I ended up wasting a good opportunity to approach the people that we actually want. Just because I was scared of getting rejected. Okay, not that I was scared of getting rejected, because we have been rejected quite a few times. It's more so I was scared of what other people would think of us. Yes. We think about these, how can I say this? We put ourselves on a pedestal. We think that in terms of the social hierarchy in school, we are up there. Now, whether that's true or not, it generally depends on an individual. Imagine so many opportunities just go down the drain, all because you're scared of what other people will think of you. We really need to stop doing that to ourselves. And to be honest, when I thought about this, I started thinking about my past life, back in my early years of high school, and I was thinking, damn, I actually used to get a lot of girls. I actually used to get a lot of girls. And the reason why I was going out approaching girls and not caring about whether the fact that I got rejected or not was because I didn't build this so called status that I have. Now, like I said, whether I have the status or not, it depends on an individual. Okay? But in my head, I built a status in school. So now I'm scared to bring myself down. I'd rather not approach at all. I'd rather not date at all than to approach a girl and then get rejected. Now, I'm not saying I haven't gotten rejected at all in the school. I have had my fair share of rejections. They just haven't been that many. I think I've probably only been rejected once. Hmm. I think I'm lying to myself. Was it really once? I really can't remember. There's only one girl that I can think of who actually rejected me. But other than that, I can't think of any other time I got rejected in school. Okay, regardless, I've gotten rejected at school before, and that was actually quite recent. Yeah, that that was actually quite recent. It was last year, to be precise, last year. So I approached the girl. She told me that she had a boyfriend, and then I left. I was like, damn it, she's not feeling me. Now, look, I know I shouldn't be beating myself down because the girl said that she has a boyfriend. It's not entirely a rejection. It's just that unfortunately the girl has a boyfriend. But for me, the way I look at it is if I was attractive enough and if I was just let me say if I was a lot better in the game and if I was a lot more attractive, she would probably leave her boyfriend for me. Okay, no, wait. I phrased that wrong. Let me see what I thought in my head, right? Is that if I was attractive enough, I would expect her to leave her boyfriend for me. And that if she didn't, it means that I'm not attractive enough. Yes, that's the equation for me. So that's why it hurts. It hurts. I was thinking, I'm like, okay, I built this entire reputation on me. Yes, my friends told me that she has a girlfriend, but I don't care. Okay, not a girlfriend, I meant boyfriend. But I don't care. I'm still gonna go approach her because I think I'm all that. Only for me to get humbled and be told that, oh no, I have a boyfriend. Yeah, it's rough, Shem. Yeah, it's rough. But anyways, as I was saying, back then in my early years of high school, I was getting a lot of girls because I didn't care about, well, the fact that I would get rejected or not. I didn't care about this so-called reputation or status of mine. I would do things for the fun of it, for the experience. Now, ish. Now it's all about aura farming. I'm just too nonchalant to be doing this and that. I care too much about my aura to be doing this and that. And I know that actually sounds quite cringe, but yo, I'm being there is. I'm being there is. Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna say 24/7. I'm thinking about my aura and all that. Let me say this. I care a lot about what other people think about me because I care a lot about what I think about myself. I want to be as attractive as possible. But yet again, I can't trust my own eyes because I might lie to myself. I might think I'm all that when I'm not. I might think that I'm putting a killer fit when honestly that fit is ass. So I'll need another pair of eyes to tell me whether or not that fit is actually good. I'll need another pair of eyes to tell me whether or not my skin is actually good or not. Because some days I'll be telling myself, okay, my skin looks like it's getting better. But just in case, let me ask someone. Let me ask a friend. And that friend tells me that nothing has honestly changed. My skin is still bad. You get what I'm saying? Because of how much I may want something, I might convince myself that that's something that I'm hoping for has actually arrived. When in fact, I don't even have it at all. And that's why I care a lot about what other people think. I don't want to be in a situation where I think I'm all there when I'm actually not. Now I know I started off by saying that you shouldn't care about what other people think, but this one is kind of different. The first part of the video I was saying, don't care about what other people think in terms of getting what you want. Now I'm saying you should care about what other people think so that you can prevent yourself from being delusional. Sometimes delusion is a good thing, I'm not gonna lie. I have my days of being delusional. My friends actually know this quite well. I can be quite delusional. But that's only because I'm self-aware enough to know that I am being delusional. Some people don't even know that they're being delusional. They think that whatever it is that they're thinking is actually reality when it's not. So yeah, sometimes you should care about what other people think. And sometimes you shouldn't. And also, another thing that also made me reflect on this concept is last year I went to another school to play rugby, right? We were ass. We lost all three of our games in a row. We got disqualified in the tournament. They didn't reach quarterfinals, didn't reach semifinals. We were ass. We lost. We got decimated. We only scored once throughout all those 3 games. We were ass. So that day I played rugby, which means I was sweaty. My hair was a mess. I was crusty. Right? After those 3 games, I decided to go change in the bathroom, fix myself up. Because I care about myself so much, I actually brought sunscreen, a cleanser, and a moisturizer. Cool. But my hair was still a mess though, unfortunately. So I was basically looking my worst. Now, on a normal school day, this would affect me a lot. It would have hit my confidence so much because of how much I care about what other people think. And this, in terms of what other people think, this one is based on the first part of the video. When I was saying, was this caring about what other people think will stop you from achieving what it is that you want to do, right? In this scenario, if this was a normal school day and I was at school, it won't stop me from doing whatever it is that I wanted to do. Maybe there was a girl that I wanted to talk to, but because of me being so crusty, I wasn't gonna talk to that girl. But since this was at a new school, I genuinely didn't care about that. I didn't care about that. I was like, this is a new school. Yes, I lost. I look crusty right now. The shoes that I'm wearing are shoes that I was even playing with. They're dirty. But I genuinely don't care. I genuinely don't care. I'm in the mood of getting some girls. I'm in the mood of approaching. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for what I want. But of course, I didn't start. It was me and my friend group. And I told them that they have to start. I was like, so guys, let's go get some girls, guys. It's time to approach. It's time to approach. It's time to approach. Yes. It's time to approach. And then they said, okay, start. I was like, I'm definitely not approaching. I'm definitely not approaching. But then I told him that if I actually do want to approach, but I'm just too scared. So what I want is for them to approach first, and then I'll approach after. As in, I want them to get rejected, and then I'll approach after. So they went to approach twice. They got rejected, and then I was like, okay, it's fine. Now I can also go. And guess what? That was actually my best day ever. I succeeded 5 times in a row. 5 times in a row. Biggest W I've ever had in one day. So when I thought about that, I was like, damn. I was looking so crusty, and yet the amount of W's that I was getting was actually quite impressive. And here I am at school. People know me. I'm always looking my best, and yet I'm so scared to approach. I'm so scared to get what I want. What's wrong with me, guys? What's wrong with me? So yeah, hopefully I can let that to stop affecting me and actually go for the people who I actually do want to go for. Or let me just say, it can actually, hopefully I can stop overthinking it and do what it is that I want to do at school. Yeah. I'll stop caring too much about what other people think. Because clearly at that new school that I went to, I was basically in the worst possible scenario. And people genuinely didn't care. And I still got the W. They only cared about the present. When I was talking to them, they only cared about when I was talking to them. They didn't care about the fact that I lost. They didn't care about the fact that I was crusty. But anyways, this is not gonna be a long video like all the other previous ones. I'm hoping this one is actually below 20 minutes. So I hope it's below 20 minutes. I hope I didn't talk that much for you guys. Anyways, I hope you guys have a nice day. My name is Dimo, and you can actually find me on Instagram and TikTok as simply.dimo.